I got a pitch for AEW that they may never do. But here's my pitch. Remember back in the day when ECW, Jim Cornette and Jerry the King Lawler were not fans of ECW. For a shoot, not for a work. They were not fans of ECW. But they saw the opportunity to make money and to make good business. So they both showed up in the ECW arena, and the place came unglued. Absolutely unglued. How would you feel if somehow that the Bucks and Omega and TK were able to make enough peace with Jim Cornette to have Jim Cornette come back with CM Punk as the anti-AEW faction?
Somebody suggested this.
Really?
Is that what? No, I'm asking.
Oh, no, I suggested this.
Oh, I think that's brilliant.
I suggested this.
I think that's brilliant. Because CM Punk is going to come back as the biggest heel in AEW history.
Yeah.
If he comes back. He'll come back.
I think
right?
he said he wants to come back and wrestle. He wants to come back.
So when he comes back, he's going to be the biggest heel in AEW history. From the pop at wherever, Chicago Arena, when he first came back, you're going to get the opposite now.
Yeah.
When he comes back, he is going to get the biggest heel heat of all time.
Yeah.
We'll get over it. We'll get over the scrum ride from hell. We've got it over worse, right?
Yeah.
And it'll eventually settle itself out. But I think he's going to be huge. You add Jim Cornette to that?
Yeah, he just comes back as his handler, and he's like, you know what? I came here because I loved professional wrestling, and I got stuck with these backyard, Circus Soleil, doing flips, doing no psychology, just basically start calling it out. Now, the Bucks and Omega would have to really, really have thick skin. Really have thick skin and let these guys rip into him, kind of like, why does Cornette almost have 500,000 people watching him on YouTube? Because they want to hear what he says.
Yeah.
And if he's on their show saying that and willing to do business, it would repair that mistake of TK not taking advantage and making money of that scrum ride then by making it now. And then just have CM Punk start that, I hate to go back, but it's successful, that NWO faction, and like, who's with me? Have him and Cornette go back to Brian and like, Brian, you're a professional wrestler.
And oh my God. And then it can eventually build to the four pillar story that never happened.
Right.
And then you've got an NWO faction in both divisions.
Yeah.
Men and women.
And women.
And they're aligned. And then you've got, who is it? CM Punk. Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
Who else?
With Cornette.
John Moxley?
Moxley. I would say Moxley.
Would he do? Well, maybe he would. But but you'd have that faction of ex-WWE folks.
Yeah.
And then the four pillars rise, led by
Jungle Boy,
MJF.
Yeah, MJF could be their leader
as a heel,
right? Sting could be someone that's kind of in the middle because he's lived in both worlds, but he never really made his money in WWE.
Yeah,
so he wouldn't. So they would have basically a figurehead on that side. The thing, you'd just be printing money. Those empty seats, you wouldn't have to hide them anymore.
Turn it into an
angle, and you'd have to just thicken. Those guys would have to thicken their skin.
You know what? It's almost better that there was this time for it to simmer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree.
Like I think if you're right, a smart wrestling person would have jumped into it right off the bat. But with the fact that now it's gone awkwardly long, it could be even better.
Yeah, I agree. As long as if that delivery happens, because people are going to lose it. There's going to be some people that don't know what to do when Punk comes back, because Mark Henry came out on Busted Open Radio. He's like, I want Punk to come back. I think he's good for wrestling. He gets eyes on wrestling. But then on the other side, you have Seth Rollins that's like, stay away from wrestling. You're a cancer, Phil. Nobody likes you. You're an a-hole. That just would add to this entire angle.
And all of a sudden, CM Punk is wrestling as Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just let him go. Yeah, we haven't seen that end across men and women. Just give him a hot mic with Cornette. Now, here's the thing. Cornette is a mouthpiece for somebody who can't talk, but Punk doesn't need a mouthpiece. But I think both of them having that heat together, oh my God, it would be so good. It would be so good. And just kind of give them a little bit loosen the leash a little bit and let them go a little far. I don't. Again, I
think Punk does need a mouthpiece. I think it fits. I think it's appropriate because it's his mouth that got him in trouble.
Yeah.
So now he hands over that to someone else.
Yeah.
He'll still do stuff and he'll still talk. You know what I mean?
Right.
But someone else does his business.
I agree. Yeah, that could be it. It's just like, know what? I said what I need to say. I'm not going to say anymore. So I got somebody who's going to say what needs to be said.
It's like when you have an agent. Fight. Your agent's the one who argues for money, right?
That's perfect. Yeah, that's a perfect scenario. Perfect comparison.
Yeah.
I'm here to fight. I'm not here to talk. He'll talk.
I'll fight. I'm paid to do this person's dirty work. That's my job.
Oh, man. It could be so
it's nothing
good.
Personal. I'm just telling you what is.
I just don't know the heat, the history of the heat between the Bucks and Cornette.
Well, I mean,
and Omega, other than like, I know he goes nuts over the non-psychology stuff that they do.
Well, I mean, it's just like when I was telling you the other night about Creed. I just love when the fighters make amends.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that would be, hey, time passes, time heals everything. Money's cool. We all like money, so maybe it could happen.
Matt Hardy is there, and he's a perfect. I mean, he did this when the internet was all you had was blogs and websites. He found a way that when he found out that Edge was having an affair with Lita, like for a shoot on the road, but they were together, and then he got fired. They all found a way to still work together and make money.
Yeah,
and just turn that into money.
Personal issues, pal.
That's what sells.